I told you there was a little girl who grew up alongside wild animals, playing with cheetahs, riding on elephants, and befriending leopards. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Well, this is the real-life story of Tippi Degre, the girl who spent her childhood living among some of Africa's most dangerous animals, forming friendships that seem almost impossible. Tippi Degre was born in Namibia in 1990 to French wildlife photographers Sylvie Robert and Alain Degre. While most children spent their days playing with toys and friends, Tippi's childhood was anything but ordinary. Her playground was the vast African wilderness, and her playmates were wild animals, including some of the most dangerous creatures on the continent. From an early age, Tippi formed unique relationships with animals that most of us would never dare approach. Elephants, leopards, cheetahs, lions. Tippi saw them not as predators, but as friends. She interacted with them fearlessly, often forming bonds that stunned even her parents. One of Tippi's closest animal companions was an elephant named Abu. From the age of 2, Tippi would sit atop Abu's back, riding the elephant through the bush as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Elephants are known for their intelligence and memory, and Abu seemed to treat Tippi with care, recognizing her as a friend rather than a threat. But Tippi's friendships weren't limited to elephants. She also formed an unlikely bond with a leopard named J&B. Leopards are notoriously elusive and dangerous, but J&B was different. He allowed Tippi to get close, even letting her stroke his fur. It was as though Tippi had a unique ability to communicate with animals, transcending the usual boundaries between humans and wildlife. Tippi's childhood wasn't just about playing with animals. It was about learning from them. Her parents, Sylvie and Alain, often documented her interactions with the wildlife, amazed by the way she was able to move seamlessly between the human and animal worlds. While most children are taught to fear wild animals, Tippi was taught to respect them, and in return, they seemed to respect her. In one memorable moment, Tippi calmly handled a massive python, wrapping the snake around her body without a hint of fear. Her parents, who had spent years photographing wildlife, couldn't believe the calmness and confidence their young daughter showed around such a dangerous animal. Tippi's story is more than just an adventure. It's a testament to the deep connections that can form between humans and animals when there's mutual respect. Throughout her childhood, Tippi formed bonds with animals that many of us would find terrifying. Yet for her, it was simply a way of life. As Tippi grew older, her story became known around the world. Her parents published a book titled Tippi, My Book of Africa, filled with stunning photographs documenting her incredible upbringing. The world was captivated by the little girl who grew up in the wild, living a life that seemed more like a fairy tale than reality. As Tippi's fame grew, she became an ambassador for wildlife conservation. Her unique experiences with wild animals gave her a deep understanding of the importance of protecting these creatures and their habitats. Through her story, Tippi inspired people around the world to see animals in a different light, not as dangerous adversaries, but as beings with whom we can form meaningful connections. Though she left Africa at the age of 10 to live in France, Tippi's connection to the wild has never faded. She continues to advocate for wildlife conservation, speaking out about the need to protect endangered species and preserve the natural world. Tippi Degre's story is one of wonder and adventure, but it's also a reminder of the powerful bonds that can form between humans and animals when there is respect, trust, and care. She grew up alongside creatures that many would consider dangerous, but for Tippi, they were family. Her extraordinary childhood in the African wilderness shows us that with the right perspective, the line between humans and animals can blur, and we can coexist in harmony. Tippi's story isn't just a tale of adventure, it's a call to action to protect the natural world and the animals that call it home. If you were fascinated by Tippi's story and want to hear more incredible tales of human-animal connections, hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing content. And if you want to support wildlife conservation efforts, check out the links in the description below.